Hi everybody, Tyler here with Sparkle with Tyler, and today we are filming WIP Chat number 19. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. If you are working on your own WIP, I would love to know what you're working on down in the comments below. If you are unfamiliar with what a WIP Chat is, a WIP is a work in progress, and a WIP Chat is where we all come together and hang out and just chat about what's going on while we work on a WIP. You are free to watch this if you want to sit and chat and watch diamond painting, or feel free to use this as. So I have no idea why my camera just cut off. I'm going to do my best to just cut back into where I was. That's never happened before. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat because it is very, very, very dry here where I live, and I'll talk about that more a little bit. But yeah, so always got to keep us on our toes with technology, right? So yeah, practiced a lot of my square multi-placing, and it really makes an enormous difference in terms of how fast I can work on these paintings. This is an 8 multi-placer. Before I forget to mention it, all of the small business stuff that I'm using. This is a Firefly Inferno Nano tray. I think this is my DAC 8 placer. These are ArtDot containers. I don't know if technically that counts as a small business. Somewhere around here, I have my Crafts with Crashly release papers. I don't know if I'll use them today, but they're around. I have my, I don't speak French, so I'm so sorry if someone can correct me. Creations Morin, Putty is in my multiplacer, and I think I have my Randa's Crafty Corner wax in the other side of this pen. So, and then this is just a random Amazon pen, so I have no idea where it is or who made it or anything like that, other than that it was an awesome gift for Christmas. So let's get cracking on what's going on. So the last time that I posted a WIP Chat, I recall very distinctly I filmed it and had to run to the dentist. So that went well, for lack of anything else. It was fine. Nothing to report, which I'm happy to say. And then I came home, standard work day. In the evening, I went and spent some time with friends. I play a game, as y'all know, and a mobile game, and we got to all hang out. And I hadn't seen them, I think that might have been the first time I saw them since the holiday. So that was nice, and that was pretty much my evening, but it was a little spooky because that's like kind of right around when the fires up in LA were really starting to kick up. And if you've been watching the news ever since, really, it's been fires ever since here in California. And the air quality's been icky. And actually, even where I live, like yesterday, there was a fire close enough to us that we really sat down and we're like, okay, let's get everything prepped in the car in case we need it. We can be ready to go. So, unfortunately, having lived in California for as many years as we have, it's a reality here now. My hometown has gone through a lot of fire, and about 11 and a little over a decade now, fire really took a bunch of it out. So this is unfortunately not our first rodeo, but we are prepared, and CAL FIRE has some really good resources if you need to get your go bag ready. So not to be a downer, but like that's been a big part of what we've been experiencing here, is the weather, really cold, really dry weather, and just being kind of on fire watch. Anyone who has a very good nose, you'll know, like, anytime you smell hot or anytime you smell smoke around here, you can tell when someone thinks they smell smoke right now because they just go on full alert. Even the dogs, they're acting differently. I don't know if it's the fire planes that are going around all the time or if they can just tell that people are on edge, but You know, it's a fact of life right now. So, you know, it was nice to have that time with friends on was that last Wednesday? I don't know, maybe 2 Wednesdays ago. But at the same time, it's just like going out right now is weighing, you know, do we have access to the house in case of emergency if we're too far away? Um, so we're kind of doing a divide and conquer if hubby or I need to be out of the house. So, like, if he's going to work, I am not necessarily leaving, you know, the dogs at home by themselves. So, yeah. Thursday, happy to report, nothing to report, just standard work stuff. And then Friday, I got to do like my craft thing that I do with my friends every month or so. I did not bring a diamond painting because, as you can tell, this diamond painting is quite large, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it, but there's a few things going on with this painting. You might be able to hear the crinkle crinkle of the cellophane, and that's because this specific canvas is cellophane. The perforated sheets that DAC has, the horizontal perforations are not, they don't exist. They're only in columns. So I haven't really been able to, I guess, break off the segments of perforation. And I have like these tiny little lines right here of drills that aren't covered. So until I get those little sections covered, I can't cut off the perforation. It would be perfect for me to use some release paper on. It's just not something I thought of until just now because that's just how brains work, I guess. But I'll probably do that later today so that I can get the crinkle crinkle out and off of my canvas because it's driving me a little crazy. So apologies for the cut. I've got frogs in my throat really bad from the weather. So there might be a few of those today while I kind of just clear my throat and catch my breath. Friday, I got to go to my friend's house, and it's kind of that event where we do the Friday craft nights. And I didn't take a diamond painting. I took my pixels painting, stickers, whatever you want to call it, because it is very close to being done. And I was on the fence between bringing my pixels painting or my granny square blanket yarn because they're both so portable and they're both so close to being done. But I ultimately decided to bring pixels because of its portability. It takes like 8.5 by 11 inches to work on, plus a little spot for the stickers. And that works really well when you have a whole bunch of people that you're crafting with. And I got a whole chunk of it done. I think I'm probably halfway done with it at this point. And I think probably 5 to 10% of it I got done that night. So that was really good. And it's always nice just to spend time with people that you know, enjoy their company with and you can laugh with, because it was one of those experiences where it's nice to be around people that kind of understand what's going on in your situation, and pretty much everyone there is at some level a California native / local. And so with everything that was going on with the fires and just fire prep and just, you know, everything else that's going on in the world, it was kind of interesting. Normally we all chill until pretty late, and by the time 8 o'clock had rolled around, we were all exhausted. And I think a lot of us had stopped crafting by 7:30. Mind you, this thing starts shortly after work, so we just had run out of juice. And it was kind of an interesting thing because we're not normally like that, but I think it speaks a lot to just how a lot of people are feeling right now. We're just tired. There's a lot going on. And I think a lot of us ended up kind of rolling out of the craft night by 8:30, which is, you know, it's okay. It's just unlike us. So I didn't get as much as on that Pixels project as I probably would have during summer, but that's okay. Some progress is progress, progress, not perfection. And it's always good to kind of have that social time with people as well. So it's a wild world right now. I also, as a tangent, can't figure out what's going on with these just random squares. So that's okay. But yeah, so Friday I came home and I think I probably just crashed out on the couch after that. It's been wild. Just work and life and fires and news. So, and on top of that, thing one has still been broken. So there's kind of some worry with the doggo as well. So I spent a lot of that weekend just kind of with hubby, making sure is the dog okay. And he was doing okay-ish, but he wasn't really getting better. So and in some ways he almost seemed like he was getting worse because I was seeing a limp. My husband wasn't seeing a limp, but I was. And so we called the vet and we're like, hey, we think we need to get x-rays on thing one. And so she's awesome. We love our vet. And she said, can you bring him in on Monday? We can squeeze him in, but just so you know, we have to sedate him. And so we brought him in on Monday. And I love this dog so much. He is my baby, but I think the one person or persons he would disown me for is the vet. He loves going to the vet. I think probably because they give him attention while he's there. And so it was hilarious because when we drove up, mind you, I'm super stressed out, right? Because he's not the youngest dog. He's not the oldest dog. But anytime you put a dog under for sedation, there's some risk, especially as the dog gets a little older. And so I'm stressing out. And we get there, we drive up, he's sitting in the car, he sees where he's at, so he's super excited. He starts like whining. And I don't mean like little whines. I mean it starts little, it gets louder, to the point where we got there a few minutes before the vet opened, and I finally had to walk in because the door was unlocked. And I was like, I know we're a couple minutes early. I was like, I can't sit in the car anymore. He's just so loud. I can't take it anymore. And thing one was so excited. He loves his friends at the vet, and the vet loves him because I think sometimes it's probably not the most fun experience to be at the vet and have, dogs be afraid to come in. It's probably a little bit of a bummer. Let me rephrase it. It's probably refreshing to have a dog come in that just wants to be your best friend. So I'm checking in thing one. I'm doing his little paperwork. And in the meantime, he's trying to break into the vet. So, how a lot of vets have their like double doors so animals can't get out. He's trying to break into the double door. He's like pushing on the door, completely ignoring me. He just wants to go see his friends behind reception. So I thought that was pretty funny. It definitely helped lighten the mood. The dog preferred the vet to me that morning. And the good news is, like, several very expensive x-rays later, he's okay. They couldn't find anything on x-ray. So the consensus at this point is that he probably has a soft tissue injury, not the big C. And since we've taken him in and he's gotten his meds and we've just kind of kept him on bed rest, much to his dislike, he's done a lot better. So he actually got to go visit his dog friends yesterday as of this video. So I'm really grateful that we have awesome vets. But there is a reason that I call Thing One our $300 dog, our Costco dog, is because there's something always wrong with him. And unfortunately, he has cost us a lot of money. and doggy insurance for his breed and his age is just, he's not feasible. It's just, it honestly costs more. So, anyway, I don't mean to be like, oh, blah, 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 but I'm really glad he's okay. That's what it all boils down to. Bed rest, bored dog, and just knowing that he's okay. Like, that's my kid, right? So, I'm really, really, really happy that he's doing better. And he's happy too, because now he gets to go on a little bit of a longer walk. He's not just like going quickly outside and coming back in and just stuck in the house. No one likes to be stuck in the house, let alone a dog that doesn't understand why he's being stuck in the house. He sleeps 18 hours a day, but he likes to go outside and explore, you know? So, that was Monday. Tuesday, I got to see some friends, which was really nice. We do our, like, monthly thing. And I went to one of our favorite bakeries and picked some stuff up. And then on top of that, it was just really nice to see them too, because work had some unexpected, like, chaos that erupted outside of the normal chaos. Don't really want to talk about it, can't really talk about it. But definitely a big work stressor popped up that I was really grateful to have a good support system for. So on top of that, you know, food's good when you get to see your friends and have some food together. And it's always nice kind of have some people time, your girl time, or whatever you call it. So I'm glad that we keep that on the books, because it just always happens that it pops up when we need to have it. We end up scheduling or rescheduling these events sometimes just because of people's schedules, and then we end up having those food dates right at the right time. Funny how that works, you know? So, yeah, I don't take those times for granted like I think I did when I was younger. I think when I was younger, I was like, oh, you know, we'll do it next time. And now, not that like there won't be a next time, that's not what I'm saying at all. That sounds really scary, but just maybe next time won't be quite as fun, or next time we'll get to celebrate something, or, you know, celebrating the present moment is always, it's just good. So, and it's always fun to celebrate other people's achievements and stuff, so that's another reason I like to go and hang out with them, is to kind of hear about all their family adventures and stuff like that. So, they're also dog people, so that never hurts. Outside of that, the rest of the week, really, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, was like a balance of work, self-care, and trying to get caught up with crafting, taking care of doggo, trying to keep him sane, and just kind of being, again, on Firewatch continued. So we just really are trying to make sure that, you know, our family is okay, our friends around here are okay, trying to make sure that people we know are being mindful to have their go bags ready. And you know, we have a couple people around here that I know like work and stuff, so I'm like, okay, well, if they're at work and we need to evacuate, like, how are we gonna make sure that we collectively can make sure everyone's dogs are out and stuff like that. So that's just part of being a community. But I think out of all of this WIP and Chat, like, the long weekend is definitely the highlight. I go to a holiday party that is always hosted in the new year. I have some friends who do their holiday party in January, just because then everyone's free and it's way less stressful and it's way less expensive. So they do their party in January, and so I went to that over the weekend, and they do a white elephant, and it's always really fun, but it's always really interesting because there's like, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's always that one person at a party who doesn't know when to quit, and they're just kind of obnoxious. So there was a person like that last year who I'm pretty sure didn't get invited back. And then this year, there was a person like that. So, so mind you, there's like, it's a 50-person white elephant, for context, at this party. That's a whole big, so you do your food, you hang out, you visit with people, and then at the end of the night, starting at like 8:30, this huge white elephant starts. And the white elephant rules at this party is that nothing like dies, you know what I mean? Like if you've ever done a white elephant, like sometimes people have rules where after X many steals of a gift, the item dies. That's not how this white elephant works. So you can still infinitely as many times on a gift as you want, and something can go around and around and around forever. Well, when you have, I think, 48 or 50 people, it takes a really long time potentially. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this person just they took forever to choose gifts. And then every time someone would steal from them, they would just make this whole point about how they were going to get their gift back. Their gift. And mind you, like, there are some gifts that come back every single year. It's just kind of like a running joke. And so I don't know, it felt really cringy, and it took forever. This whole white elephant usually takes 2 hours, and it took 2.5 hours. It didn't need to. I had tons of fun. I want to be really, really, really clear. It was very, very fun, and I ended up, whoever brought the gift I ended up with an entire set of basically D&D books. They're Pathfinder books, but basically it's an entire set of manuals for a tabletop RPG, and I think those probably cost $100 or more. Like, people are very generous at this white elephant, but I always find it really interesting how people don't read a room. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see if we see that person back next year. And I'm interested to go to a lot of the same people overlap with like that craft group I was telling you about. So I'm interested to kind of see what we all talk about the next time I see everyone. Yeah. But I had tons of fun. It was great to see people. The food was good. The company was good. Sans, a couple things. And it was nice to come up for air after a long week of work and thing one being broken. And yeah, and it's silly, but like, I don't dress up very nice. I don't dress up nice very often. There we go. I think being kind of in the job that I'm in, a lot of the times I get to be in my comfies. And so it's always nice to kind of have that, like, oh, I'm going to dress up nice tonight. So that was that. And it was really, really nice. And again, I came home with a gift from someone who's incredibly generous. I came home in 2024. I ended up coming home with a gift that is one of the you return it gifts. So it was very easy for me to pick the gift that I was bringing to the event this year, because my job was to return the gift I got last year. But we'll see what happens at the next party. That's just kind of the interesting things. When you have that many people, there's bound to be something good to talk about later, right? All I can say is that one of these years, I'm going to get the coveted returning gift that I just have not been able to get. I just don't have a late enough number, or I haven't gotten a late enough number so far in the drawing for this white elephant to get it. So maybe next year, maybe not. We'll find out. But if I get it next year, well, you'll know, because it's gonna come up. I will be so excited. Interestingly enough, like, I was surprised at how little crafting stuff came up this year. Last year there was a whole bunch of crafting stuff, but I think I think with the pandemic kind of winding down and people are kind of getting through all their crafting stuff, there was just less of that around people's houses. So, I don't know. Sunday and Monday were pretty easy. I went up to visit some family on Sunday, and we watched a movie. We watched the Jesse Owens movie. I think it was called Race, and that was about I think it was about the 1936 Olympics, and it was pretty good. I was kind of inspired to find and that was pretty good. I'm inspired to kind of go find a biography of Jesse Owens now, because as we all know, biographical films are never fully spot on. So I would like to go find like an audiobook biography so I can listen to it while I diamond paint, or while I play video games, or whatever it may be, or while I'm working. And then, I just went out to lunch with family and just spent some time crafting while I was visiting with them, because I brought some yarn to work on that portal blanket, that Granny Square blanket, and then I came home and worked on this canvas. I've been trying to intersperse time on this canvas as much as possible. It's not necessarily like I'm working on it this time, and this time, and this time is WIP and Chat, but it's definitely something that I'm trying to work on frequently. Monday, I spent most of my day working on this canvas. I really enjoyed just having some blocks of time to work on it, and I really did spend a lot of time this weekend practicing my multi-placing whiskers, as I kind of started with. I see all the flaws, right? But I also know that when I step back 15 feet from this, I'm not going to see the flaws. Not nearly as much as I see them close up. So I'm pretty happy with the progress I'm making. I'm really, really happy. As I say that, I make a huge, huge mess. I'm happy with the progress I'm making. I'm happy with new skills. It's a work in progress, right? It's a practice, and no canvas is perfect, but I'm definitely seeing the difference in multi-placing. It's so much faster. I'm able to do in an hour and a half what took me probably 4 hours before. So the difference is vast, and I think that it will make a huge difference in me being able to accomplish my goals for 2025, which is monumental, right? So outside of that, I'm looking towards this week. I'm looking towards work. I'm looking towards life, and I'm hoping that this is a relatively quiet week. I know I've got some work stuff going on. I know I have some health appointments. Talk about health stuff in a moment, actually, because I didn't write that down, but it's, updates. I don't know why some of this stuff is not sticky today. Apologies. But most of this week is hopefully pretty quiet and spending time with family, and really we're not doing a lot of going out and about, like I mentioned, because we feel like we should be home as much as possible, just in case we need to leave. Not in a paranoid way, but just in a conscientious way of, we don't have to be out. We have plenty to do here. We're really happy at home, so why flirt with possibly, not being able to get back to the house? So, all that being said, all things being relatively okay here, let's talk ears. Let's talk health stuff. I got my surgery date for my ear maybe I should back up a little bit. I have to have surgery again on my ear for sure. I'm not sure how much of this I have discussed because I don't remember the last time I talked to the doctor. So what's going to happen is I'm having surgery again in mid-March, and what that means for me work-wise is I'm going to be doing just oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles of work travel. Good, bad, or otherwise. But I'm not going to be able to fly for a minimum of a month, and I can't do any elevation changes in cars for at least a month. So I can't not do my job. I have to do my job. So I'm going to be doing a lot of flying this upcoming February. And I'm not sure how WIP and chats will work and stuff like that. I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. But the channel's still going to be going, whether that means like pre-recorded unboxings, and those will fill in the gaps. Not 100% sure, but I'll keep you posted, just because surgery kind of knocks me flat for at least a week or two, and then I can't hear for anything for about a month after that. So I am really grateful that I should, in theory, get my hearing completely back after this, but that's kind of what we thought might happen last time, and we are going for, hopefully, lucky number round 3. So, fingers crossed. And it's, just under about 7 weeks away. So, I'm not scared at all, honestly. Like, I know the drill. Totally know the drill. I know the surgery scheduler, like, super well even now at their office. So, I wish it was, honestly, a little bit sooner, but at least now I'll have some time to get the work stuff set up. And by getting all of the, like, insane number of work trips done on the front end while I'm recovering, I'll be able to get all of the, like, required reports that come afterwards. I'll be able to stay home and do those. So that's where we're at with health stuff. So Doggo's doing good. I'm doing okay. Family, as far as I know, is doing okay. And Thing 2 is off doing her thing, living her best life. So we can't ever complain about that. I am hoping that the next time I post a WIP and Chat that I will be more than halfway done with this, because we are technically more than halfway done with the month on this. And I think when I did the math on this, like, each row of this painting is about 12 to 13%. So I'm catching up, but I'm not caught up. And I'm hoping, like I said, the next time I see you, I can report major progress. In the meantime, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Please stay safe out there with all the wild weather. I believe, if I read correctly, that there's like a huge cold wave going across the other half of the country right now, which is just mind-boggling to me. So if you're dealing with snow, please be careful with all of what comes with that. If you're more towards my neck of the country, please be safe with all of the fire risk. I would love to know what you're working on. I would love to know how your 2025 progress is coming along. If you're working on any fabulous canvases or projects, and if you have any completions so far, because I'm sure there are some of you out there who are just on top of it. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!